Before directly going into the Android apps development, let's understand the architecture of Android and have a brief overview how different components of Android are responsible for making our app working. This is the architectural model of Android, and you can see the various components like Linux, libraries, Android runtime, application program, and application layer. Now let's move on to the next slide and see the individual components and how they are responsible for our app. So Linux kernel is the main software program of operating Linux operating system, which is responsible for communicating application program with hardware components. It is the first program that loads up on its startup. Its function includes memory management, device driver management, networking, security, system calls, and many other fundamental operations. Android core part is made with Linux kernel, but it does not use all of the part of normal Linux kernel, and we can't run Android application into Linux system since it doesn't have Dalvik virtual machine, and we cannot run our Linux application program on Android since it doesn't have all the standard GNU libraries. Here are some of the list of drivers and components of Linux kernel and Android Linux kernel that Android uses. For example, display drivers, camera drivers, keypad drivers, Wi-Fi drivers, power management, audio driver, flash memory driver. Now let's move into the upper layer of Android architecture. In this layer, we have set of libraries written in C and C++. Since Android apps have to run on low power CPU with limited battery life, set of libraries that need intensive CPU and GPU resources are compiled into optimized native code. There are various parts like Surface Manager, SQLite, Media Framework, OpenGL ES, SGL, FreeType, WebKit, SSL. Surface Manager is responsible for composing window on screen. It generates different window for different application and processes and shows the correct window on screen at a particular period of time. SQLite stores all the data and the data structure for our application. Media Framework help us to support audio and video processing. OpenGL ES is a 3D graphics library and SGL is a 2D graphics library, and we can combine both of the graphics library in a single application. FreeType library is responsible for rendering fonts on a screen. WebKit is an open source browser. SSL stands for Secure Socket Layer, and it helps in encrypted communication between clients and service. Now let's move on further. A Dalvik virtual machine is similar to that of virtual machine, but it is optimized for Android. It uses memory and battery efficiently, and it increases performance. It is designed in such a way that multiple instances of Dalvik virtual machine is possible. When all the .jar and .classes files are converted into text file, Dalvik virtual machine can run it. Further, we can find other core libraries written in Java. It contains the network, I/O, utilities, tool, and many other libraries. Moving on further, in the upper level, we have the application framework. It has various components like activity manager, window manager, resource manager, content provider, notification manager, location manager, view system, and package manager, and many other things. Activity manager is responsible for managing the life cycle of activity. We can assume activity as a screen where user is going to interact. Window manager manages window, and it is the implementation of a surface manager in Java language. Resource manager manages all the external resources like string, bitmaps. Content providers help us to share data of one application to the another application. For example, phone number in a smartphone can be accessed from the other application. Notification Manager maintains the notification operation in Android. Location Manager is responsible for sharing the location of users through application. System View System manages all the view components like button, edit text, text view, and click events of them. Package Manager keeps track of packages of every application installed on Android along with the other information of application. The most upper layer is application layer. Here we are going to see the application from Google as well as application that we install on our Android phone. I hope you got the brief understanding of Android's architecture and how it is formed as of now. So thank you for watching and I will see you in the next part.